Man, this has
1 week
been
off.
too
Yeah.
long, too long. Been too
I
long.
know. Feels like it. Feels like longer than 1 week.
Yeah, I know. Sorry
Mhm.
to be
That's it.
overdressy. But it's either this
Feels
or
so
a t-shirt.
out.
So
Yeah,
like,
no need to apologize. I think we pretty much own each other's styles,
that's
and
true.
Yeah, exactly.
we're past that judging stage
True.
now.
My arms
Yeah.
are pretty big, so I should have just went with a t-shirt. But I always have this kind of a fear in front of you too. So
Mm.
your chiseledness. But
See,
again, I'm not there to
that's a
compare.
judgment.
I know, I
Yes.
know.
Yeah,
I love
it's a
judging
label.
though. So no, 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 no. It's
You
not.
made it, right? You made
Oh,
it
I
when
love
you
it. It's a
Yeah,
judge.
great
So.
feeling.
yeah.
I think judgment is it's like victimization. Like when you victimize, it's a good feeling. That's why people keep doing it because it's convenient.
Yeah.
It's there.
I think there are two steps as well. Judgment is judgment in the head, and then verbalizing the judgment, and then
Yeah,
acting on
like
the
can you
judgment.
hold it? Can you hold it
True.
here,
Sure.
not project
Yeah.
it, and then
Yeah,
on the other side, can they not receive it? It's a whole like
exactly.
you have to validate it and make it live like from
Yeah.
here
Mm,
out, and then that
indeed.
person, yeah.
It's just
So
like
no, no, it's
when you're
great.
driving, I feel like ramming that person down, but as long as you don't do it, as long as you don't do it, you're
Yeah.
fine, you
You're
know?
okay
Right.
in my
You're
It's
brain.
okay.
true, man. When you think about it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is it really murder? Right? I mean, if you
exactly.
think about
Yeah,
killing someone, is it actually if you don't follow through with it, it's not murder, right?
yeah. It's
totally. And
witnessing it.
we're probably doing like the road some justice too.
Yeah.
Just kidding, people. I know this
Kidding,
was a
kidding.
weird
It's a
start.
G-rated event, G-rated chat.
Yeah.
But no, just happy to see my brothers here.
Indeed.
And
Same, same.
so past
Always
two
good.
weeks, I know that it's been lots that has happened in
Mm.
each of our lives, but would love to hear more from each of you, and then I'll share mine too. But no, go
Yeah.
ahead. Anyone that wants to share or
Sure,
verbalize their judgment on the world.
sure. Verbalize the judgment, yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
Articulate it and then pass
yeah,
it
yeah.
upon
Go
the.
for it. Go for it. But yeah,
Yeah, I guess I can start, and then Andre, I'd love to hear about your most recent experience as well, because I
Yeah.
find that super, super fascinating, having been to a similar festival like that. But for me, I think the big one the last 2 weeks was I started running this program called Primal, and it integrates all of what I love, which is,
amazing.
Mm.
ground-based movements, breath work, and connecting with nature. And yesterday we were training barefoot and really feeling the earth, and we were in the this place called the Botanic Gardens. And just as we were training together, we hear the birds flying over, people laughing in the background. It's just really nice to disconnect from my environment, this all this tech, and allow for the earth to just ground me and feel connected with nature again. Because in hyper connected Singapore, although there's a lot of nature and there's a lot of trees and greenery around, it's still like a city.
Mm,
So it was nice to be able to just get out and just also connect face to face with people that I appreciate in my life as well. So that has been I would say the biggest highlight for me for the week. And also I think later today I'm taking my daughter out as well. So that will be a highlight as well. So yeah, that's
Mm.
a little bit
fantastic.
of an update
Nice.
from me.
Cool.
Just want to jump in
Yeah.
quickly on how you set your intention that it's going to be great. I think
Mm,
recently I've been coaching some new clients, and a lot of it's they allow the thing to happen
Mm.
out of their control or out of their intention. So it's something that highly encourage people to do. I know my friends here, Luke and Andre, do it on a regular basis of setting intention
mm,
of how the day has to be in my
yeah.
control. And there are times obviously it doesn't happen in that route, but when you set an intention, the possibility of it happening is way higher. But
Mm,
no, that's a great
mm,
share, Andre.
Very
Yes, we
key.
are
The
excited to hear.
intention, the purpose, right? Behind why we do things. It's
Yeah,
always that why.
mm,
For me, my highlight is taking the break, man. Like it's been a while
mm,
since I took a vacation, and
nice.
just be able to step away from technology, what Luke mentioned, and just wow, the freedom that comes with it.
mm,
So I took a break on Thursday. So I was away Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and even I gave myself Tuesday off as well. And it was nice just to be away from social media, be away from my phone, and really connect with the people there and my experiences. I went to a music festival, and that was just like, whoa, I grew a lot from that. But the key part was realizing, whoa, I have so much free time on my hands. I realized I created this mental prison of this pressure on myself that I had to be active on so much on LinkedIn and getting back to all these replies and messages that it really stressed me out. But when I was on this break, even coming back on my Monday and Tuesday, it felt like I have so much time on my hands that I get to do and be present with every particular activity, such as unpacking and getting things all organized and getting back into the groove of things. So that was really nice, like as if time slowed down for me. And I'm still in vacation mode, and it's great that this whole week I'm not posting on LinkedIn, and it was so freeing. So I love to carry this type of energy going forward as a lesson as well, so that when I do get into that mode again and posting, I still have the sense of freedom that I have, which is different than I had before.
Totally.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, that's awesome. When's the next event, I guess?
Oh, well, my next event actually is not this weekend, but the next weekend. I'll be going away out to another festival out in the boonies, so camping again, and away from the technology. So it's by Edson, so about an hour and a half east or west of Edmonton, and for Luke there, only about an hour or so away from Jasper, which is the mountains. Yeah, but yeah, when I was in the Music Festival, it was all mountains because it was in interior BC, south. So as we were driving past Fernie and going to near Nelson, and it was just mountain ranges all over the place. So
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
All beautiful.
Spectacular.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Connect back to nature. Yeah. I guess Luke was doing the same too with the primal side of
Yeah,
things.
yeah. It
Very
is.
similar.
And I love what it's interesting is that I just pick up on what you said, Andre, you know, just being able to disconnect from social because, you know, you're quite constant in socials. And the thing about it is it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? You know, you post, you want to be a creator, but at the same time you're kind of pulled in, there's comments and things like that you attend to, and it just kind of pulls you away from being fully present, you know, using your five senses. And it's great that you now have a new relationship with are developing a new relationship with it, just as taking a break and having a little bit of space from it. So great work, man. Really great
Yeah,
work.
you got to experience extremes, right? Like imagine if someone was so busy with work and they just burn themselves out to realize that like maybe I need to take a break, versus someone that is taking like crazy vacation sabbaticals and realize, man, I gotta have some purpose to my life. So it's kind of meet in the middle because they experience both extremes, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Totally. No, I agree. It's a very it's perspectives again in terms of where you prioritize what you want out of life. And yeah, it's definitely, it feels like a very a fake presence through socials now, to me at least. That it's not a reality anymore, where what's real is like right in front of you, and where can you bring your body. I know you can connect like limitlessly to, you know, the world through you know, the online platform and digital media, but like when you actually sit right in front of someone, or it's like me hanging out with my son, you hanging out with like a very close friend, or new friends, or a new community, but actually seeing people, it's a very, very fulfilling. It like kind of nurtures you and fills you up, energy wise too, right? So
yeah, it's a different type of richness, isn't it? Like it's like full, like I feel full. Well, let's say if I was connecting with you guys on Restream, or let's say we plug it in the metaverse or something, and we're online gaming. It just wouldn't be the same, wouldn't it? We won't be as full. Something is missing with that.
Yeah, it's like you need another medium to connect. And you know, if the distance is that, then yeah, sure, that's a very good kind of alternative. But you know, when you have someone that's next to you, or you can access a certain place, it's definitely, I think meeting in person's ideal. Yeah, I think us three, we all kind of think pretty similarly in that aspect. So.
And the funny thing is, I haven't met any both of you guys, so I look forward to
Oh,
the day that.
You know, it's not the funny thing anymore, right? Like I find that it's so normal. Like I met my buddy Darcy a couple weekends back in Calgary, and we're mastermind buddies. So when I found out he was in Calgary, I'm like, heck yeah, I'm gonna go visit him and see him for the first time. And when we saw each other, it was like, oh my god, it's Darcy.
Yeah, real.
Right? Oh, look at that shit. Like, we caught up where we left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. And it's interesting
Yeah.
you say that, like my current business partner with Free Human, he's been an expert that I've interviewed for 5 years and the Plumfit Summit. I've never met him.
Oh wow.
And now we're
Wow.
business partners. So,
Yeah.
it's and we haven't met each other. So I mean, on the flip side, there are relationships that you build that are strong. I mean, that are based on, similar interests, similar values,
Mm-hmm.
similar
Yeah.
energy as well. So I think, it's a great thing. It's how you play and how you allow it into your life
Yes.
that is
Yes.
key.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of like business connections now
Mm,
and relationships that are developed because like through COVID, there was a
Mm.
limitation there and allow us to explore another medium to connect. But now it's like adding the physical part back in the offline part, and it becomes this kind of hybrid relationship that is very interesting. Like right now, the badminton company that I was talking to you
mm,
about, we got world number one. There's two of the partners that I haven't met in person either, but drive on Zoom like amazingly well, and
Mm.
everyone kind of is looking out for each other's back and producing really really high end elite like content and concepts too. So it's yeah, I don't think you need to meet in person to
mm,
develop cool and awesome relationships. Um, that being said, meeting a person is a different and really cool experience.
mm.
If not, I think it's in our DNA to obviously
Mm.
be close to,
Connect.
another human being, right? So,
Sure.
um, but no, I'm looking forward to meeting you, Luke. So in
Yeah,
person
well,
too,
same here.
man.
I'm looking forward to hanging with you and going to a festival with you, Andre. That
Oh
was
Yeah.
yeah.
at least a decade ago before since I did my last
Oh,
festival, so it'd
decade.
be fun. We are
Okay,
10
so
plus years. Yeah.
the festivals I'm down now are the ones that are community driven. They
Yeah.
bring
So,
family, kids are there too, workshops,
yeah,
yoga,
yeah,
breathing. Those
yeah,
are the ones versus
Yeah,
the ones where
totally.
alcohol is involved and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
about these
exactly. It's a
young
different
people.
vibe, different energy.
intoxication.
Totally. So
Yeah.
the one I went
Yeah.
to, zero alcohol. Of course, people sneak your stuff in, though they don't sell alcohol because it's on private land.
Right,
So
Hmm.
they
right.
have no private party. Yeah. And those
Wow.
are the ones I prefer to go to 100%.
Definitely. Same here. Same
Yeah,
here.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. No, we got to do that family friendly stuff now. So,
Mm.
but no, that being said, yes, taking a break.
Mm,
I think a lot of things has shifted for me on the last 3 weeks too. It
mm,
is in that scheduling to Singapore time stuff has shifted in terms of the program with the COCM side of things. So, which is
Mm.
great. My mornings are more flexible now,
mm,
and I put that time into rebuilding my physical side too. So,
mm.
pushing a lot harder there. I'm finding challenge in the recovery side still. So I'm only like a week back into it, so I'm gonna discover that piece pretty easily. I think just sucks to be in the
Mm.
beginning part of rebuilding always.
Mm.
But yeah, just kind of have to get into that rhythm again. So and that's I think the taking a break part is good that you get to rebuild, but then
Mhm.
coming back into it, you get this fresh mindset. But it's like
Yeah.
you still need to get into the groove, right? So
Mm. And what do you mean by the recovery piece there, Remy?
Yeah.
Because I know
um,
before you mentioned that you were like burning, candles on both ends, right? Burning the midnight
Yeah.
oil and on top of like raising Asher and
torching
that. Yeah,
torching the
torching
candle.
it.
It's not just burning both ends. It's like literally torching. It's more on the side of rest, like rest so restful that it's recovery for. Oh, hello Joan from San Diego. Hello, hello.
Hello,
Hello.
John.
Hello. But yeah, so it's from that side of things, how well I recover in terms of being able to do the same things I want to do right away, or how soon or how short is that time
Mm,
frame of recovery.
Mm.
I find when I jump back into a new kind of phase, or jumping back after taking a break, I feel there's a challenge of that, the static friction, which is like a lot harder to start off. Whereas when you're like in motion, even if you hit challenges, it's easy because your whole kind of being still moving.
Yeah.
So I've found working out, for example, like if you haven't worked out for, let's say, we can have 2 weeks, jumping back into it. sometimes can be a lot more challenging in terms of the motions. The DOMs are real too, so it's like you'll feel the soreness a lot more, even supplementing properly too. So like I'm feeling okay, but not bad. I've been eating properly. I've been eating good calories and making sure because I was feeling dizzy. I think I almost blacked out. So I'm like,
Oh goodness.
a little too much. So
Okay.
yeah,
Speaking of
Not a
recovery,
good
guys.
sign. Yeah.
So I'm 38, okay, and I dance on the first night till 4:30 in the morning. Second night I dance till 6:30 in the morning. Third night I could dance till 6. Though I decided because I'm considering getting back, I dance only till 3:30 in the morning. So I dance the
Right.
whole day.
wow.
I treated it just like recovery as a workout plan. I brought with me my supplements, so I had my oils, whatever, and I made sure I ate clean as well. Even though my sleep was only 4 or 5 hours. When I came back, of course, I had to sleep and recover. But just like you said, Romy, in terms of recovery time, I made sure I drank pickle juice. I made sure I got Himalayan salt. I supplement myself. I did cold showers. I went to the steam room as well to detox, and now I'm back.
Nice.
Right? It doesn't matter what age you are, as
What's
long
the
as you're
pickle juice site?
aware.
That's I'm interested.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Pickle juice?
Yeah. What can I do?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
pickle juice is
That's a
probiotic.
first for me. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a great hangover
juice.
cure. So if you're drinking liquor and you're
Right.
feeling off, brain fog, you drink
Pickle juice.
pickle juice, you're good. You're good for the day.
Really? Holy crap.
Yes.
Wait,
I
how
have a
soon
friend
do you
here
have
in
to drink it?
Edmonton. She makes it homemade as well. $10 for a jar.
Right.
Do you
Shake
just
it
take
up.
out do you just take out the pickles from the jar that
Yeah.
you buy?
No.
I was just
She
about to
makes
say
it,
that.
so
Can you do that?
She takes care of it for us. Okay, you don't have to do that. It's just juice and pickles, and then the
Right.
probiotic, the bacteria, you gotta shake it up. That's
Right.
what cleans everything for you.
Oh.
Good bacteria for you. It's a
Okay,
probiotic.
okay. Hook me up.
Right.
Hook me up.
Yeah.
Not that I
Okay.
drink alcohol much anymore. 'cause-
Question is
Yes.
this pickle juice. So can you just take the ones, the store-bought pickle juice, and just take out the pickles? Or
That's the one I was
full of
thinking about.
stuff?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they stuff the pickles there and they drink that juice,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Surely it's not the best, isn't it?
I'm sure
it
the
tastes good.
sodium
I mean,
level might
I
be high.
love dill pickle chips though, so I love the taste of it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's that's the thing. Like, how do you set yourself up for success?
Yeah.
And with all this knowledge, can you see the parallels in kind of the different things that you're doing? Hello, new night again, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Great to
Hi.
see you. Great to see you.
Nice to see you, Elizabeth. Back in again.
Hey,
I
Elizabeth.
know.
Missed you.
Yeah, missed you. So
Yeah.
missed the crew. Definitely excited to be back talking about taking a break and recovery. So I think Andre's taking a break is to go off grid, kind of as part of
Yeah.
the plan.
Off grid.
Which is great because taking a break from something doesn't mean rest, I guess. So because it's breaking off from one thing and potentially having space to engage with something else.
Yeah.
I think rest, I guess, is that thing too. It's like, can you break off from what you're doing to recover? So recovery could be something in lieu of what you're doing too, which means taking a break. So yeah, I never really thought of it breaking up the words that way, but now it's like, okay, everything is kind of like opportunity costs. If I do this, what am I giving up to not do, right? And yeah, it's all perspective and valuation now of the thing. What kind of dancing do you do, Dre? Ooh, Jones asking.
Dance music. So electronic dance music, and it was a great opportunity for me to learn. So basically the festival I went to was an adult playground, so I get to have fun without the fear of judgment. And man, before I would judge myself, so I was doing like shuffling, I was doing liquid dancing, I was doing ecstatic dancing, and I was just doing like different types of dance music, spinning around, doing footwork and stuff like that. So it's still like house music, deep house music.
No, that's fantastic. Yeah, the no judgment part is it's challenging, I think, even for people. Like, I know you go in with kind of that set of protocols that have been set by the festival. It's like there's no judgment, blah blah blah. But when you go in, there's this natural thing in the mind that reacts, your primal side.
Mm.
It's kind of like Luke, what you're talking about. If it's in here, does it go to the mouth? Does it
Yeah.
like
Does
extend
it
out?
project into the wall?
Like, man, that's weird. But it could be so fun too. Exactly. And I think when
Yeah.
people get out of their shell and not worry about how you present yourself to other
Mm.
people. So how I speak is that way. I feel I don't care about judgment in terms of what I say, because I believe I'm trying to, enrich the environment that I'm in with what I say.
Mm.
But then there's always going to be haters saying,
Yeah.
judging what I say too. So, but then I can't
Mhm.
control that.
Always.
Same thing with dancing. I think dancing is the language, of the body.
Yeah.
You're also sending out a message of how you're feeling at that time based on what
Mm,
music that you're dancing to. And
totally.
but yeah, this judgment piece too. I don't know. I feel like I'm just like so engaged with my life now that there's no time to be judged or care about other
Mm.
people judging me anymore. I'm like, I just got to do stuff.
Mm.
But no, that must be so interesting, Andre, when you were there, like
Oh
when you
man,
saw
like,
other people opening up.
and plus I get to dress up. So this is the
Mm.
first time in my life where I dressed up like a cosplay character. So one
Oh,
day I was a
cool.
samurai. Yeah,
Samurai.
because before
Wow.
I would judge myself. I would judge myself. I would wear clothes more of like showing off, like
Yeah, yeah,
label
yeah, yeah,
holding,
yeah.
right? And looking
Yeah.
cool and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I dress for fun and I dress to play. So I showed up in a samurai costume one day, and I brought a rice hat too. I had a rice hat.
Oh,
Yeah, I
nice.
think I saw
I
it. You
had a
posted it,
fan.
right?
I had a fan too as well,
Yeah,
with the like
yeah.
the Asian fan, and I was getting props left and right from that costume, man. Like,
Nice.
and I was having fun with it. People call me like Raiden from Mortal Kombat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
My old self would take offense to it, like, "What? I'm not Raiden." I'm like, "Yeah, totally,
Well, I'm not
100%."
Asian. No, 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 no.
And
Just
then,
Yeah.
the
Rated.
non-Asian people,
Rated.
right? Here's the thing:
yeah.
the non-Asian people were judging themselves because they came up to me and
Oh,
said, "I
Oh
like your hat,
yeah.
but I don't think I can pull it off," or
oh,
"I'm not
All
really?
sure.
right.
That's
I
interesting.
want to buy it, but I'm not sure." And I told them, "You look
Do it.
great in it, man. You
Yeah,
do it. They have one
do
on
it.
sale over there. Go get it. I think you look great on it." And I saw like non-Asian people wear it, but I think they're
Yeah.
judging themselves, thinking that
Yeah.
only Asian people are okay wearing those rice hats or something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
they think it's racist or something, or they don't think they're part of it. So I'm like, yo, do it. You
Do
like
what you
it?
gotta
Yeah.
do, man.
Own
Yeah,
it,
just open
right?
up.
It's
This is your intention behind wearing it. That's all.
indeed.
If
I
you're
think
having
that's the
fun
thing
with
where
it,
you
you
kind of
like
have
it.
to. It's that judgment piece. It starts off with internal judgment always. It's
Mm.
fun that you put it out that way, where you always judge yourself probably the hardest before. Let's say, you talk about wearing things that look like sharp, not really in terms of
Mm.
more that fun space of cosplay. Let's say, and after you get by that piece, it's like the other person judging themselves, and it's still judging though. So it's like, can they
Yeah.
get rid of that piece when you
Mm.
open up and dance freely and feel like you look stupid, but actually can get rid of that judgment of I'm not
Yeah.
stupid, I'm there to truly
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
No, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Not cultural
Great point.
appropriation. Yeah.
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 Great point as well, Andre. It's interesting because my wife is from Canada, and during festivals, Chinese New Year, she wears the cheongsam.
Yeah.
She
Mm.
wears, and during the other festivals, she wore like a Malay sarong kebaya, which is a lot of what the hang on.
Oh, you have it? Or you have a photo? All
No,
good.
hang on.
No problem.
Yeah,
No problem.
sorry. The
No
call just
problem.
came through. That's
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, and she was wearing sarong kebaya, and she felt like everybody that came, she came to the party, said, "Wow, that is amazing!" And
Yeah. Yeah.
going to Chinese New Year, and it was so welcoming that she was just embracing the culture, embracing the festive season. However, if it was on the flip side,
Yeah.
it would she shared with me that she would have been judged. She's like, "Oh yeah, no, that's you're disrespecting Chinese culture by wearing a cheongsam. I mean, that's not right. You should not wear a sombrero. You should not wear this because you're disrespecting the culture." So I just find it's
Mm.
just so funny. It's such a polarity where in Asian culture, it's just like in Singapore where it's like, wow, that's cool you're wearing it. And however, it's cultural appropriation. What do you guys,
Yeah.
what's your take on it being, based in Canada?
Well, I feel
It's
it's based on love and fear. That's it. and
Mm.
it's
Yeah, it's
divided.
eye of the beholder. Eye of the beholder. I always feel that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like to a certain extent, if it's like commercially appropriated, then yeah, I think that's really taking advantage of something. If you're selling
Mm,
that piece,
Mm.
you see it done with
Mm.
like the celebrity side of things. Um,
Sure.
I think people are too like the woke culture is they're like also scared of just doing stuff and talking about stuff. If
Mm.
a
Mm.
person's willing to put enough study into the culture to
Mm.
understand the culture, who are you to judge that piece? When you see
Mm.
someone first impression, you're not going to know if they've done their homework. Obviously,
mm,
why would you not give the benefit of the doubt to start rather than starting with something that this person is trying to injure the image of a culture?
Mm.
Ultimately, too, culture is designed by generations of people
Mm.
in a certain area. So I think it's all within imagination too. That let's say a kid, pulls up First Nation Indian hat, let's say, or calling Indian is probably not right either, but it's like that,
mm,
playing and just having fun with objects. They don't know what the meaning is. Do
mm,
we punish them heavily because of that? If they
yeah.
pulled up a Chinese drum and started banging it the wrong
Mm.
way,
Yeah.
is it something that we punish them for?
Mm. Mm.
And having a son now that does not care what he holds in his hand, he's going to put it in his mouth first of all, and then start wanging
Mm.
it, like banging it everywhere. And
Mm,
being a creative too,
Mm.
I think accessibility to all concepts and art forms should not be done so with so much fear. It should
mm,
be available to you
Mm.
to
Mm.
do. Of course, respect the culture that's behind it. But then again, it's like, how much of that do you have to do before you
Sure.
exactly.
start? Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Right. It's the
like
intent, right? Like, let's say
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
if I
yeah.
see someone with a
Indeed.
rice hat and I'm hurt by it, it's because there's some hate. There's some
Yeah,
hate that I
Within
have
you.
that
experience.
hasn't been resolved,
Mm.
right? That
Yeah,
I
Mm.
find that
Mm.
my culture, my race has been oppressed,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and I
Agreed.
take it the wrong way.
Sure.
Though if I
Mm.
feel that, whatever, and I can feel that person's intention of just enjoying or maybe appreciating and respecting that culture too. It's just like,
Yeah.
if you imagine
Totally.
someone spoke your language that was
Yes.
not your own native. All of a
Mm.
sudden, the barriers of color are gone.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Hundred
he's like, I
percent.
love you. You're my brother and sister now. You see it. There's
Mm.
this one guy on YouTube. I think his name is Shao something. He's very popular. He's got millions of followers. He's a white
Mm.
guy that speaks Mandarin Chinese. He'll go to
Mm.
Chinatown and
Yeah.
speak Mandarin.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the Chinese people also, first of all, he speaks English, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
organized, and the Chinese people are talking behind his back, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And all of a sudden he speaks Mandarin, and all of a sudden I was like, ooh. And all of a sudden,
Oops.
instead of ostracizing him because he's white, they
Yeah.
embraced him.
They like celebrate him like to
Mm.
another level. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I've seen
Yeah.
those things too, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, is speaking another language technically cultural appropriation?
Mm.
Because you'll never, seldom do you see someone of another culture speak another language to its
Mm.
native form unless you've grown up there or
Mm.
have been surrounded
Mm.
in that environment. So that's still especially language. Language is very much a cultural thing
Mm.
even in different areas. So it's like, how detailed do you want to bring this discussion? How deep you want to drill. So
Mm.
I don't know. I think it's, yeah, that intent of how you share that. Like, Luke, I'm sure your wife looks beautiful in
Mm.
cheongsam and stuff too. To
She does.
showcase
She does.
her beauty, but
Mm-hmm.
also through the
Mm-hmm.
Chinese culture, and you're proud of
Mm.
that too, right? Being
Yeah, sure
Asian.
am.
So, but then sometimes you can break it down to like, are you actually like full Chinese or are you Japanese or Vietnamese?
Mm.
It's like there's so many different like cultures within this kind of a big culture too, that yeah,
Mm.
like the time that you spend worrying about all this stuff disconnects people,
Mm,
which is it's just furthering this relationship that you can actually connect with someone that maybe just wants to have a drink with you, or
Yeah,
create business with you, or hang out. Something really
indeed.
simple becomes really complicated
Yeah,
because of all this stuff.
mm,
indeed.
So but yeah, then just be tactful.
Mm.
And if it's anything that is borderline, then just mention it after you know the person for a
Mm.
while, and
Mhm.
see how it comes up, and if they say no bound, if it's out of bounds, basically, then don't touch that topic again.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
So
yeah,
situational, absolutely. Yeah.
navigate it a little bit, if you truly take that as a priority, but don't let it debilitate you in connecting with other people, because I think that's way more important. Like, I have a lot of black friends, white friends,
Mm.
Latin friends, and stuff like that too, and we joke around all the time about the cultural kind of jokes too, and same thing, they joke with me when we're behind the scenes, because that's what friends are. And I don't see it. They're having malintent. We're having fun together,
Mm.
and bros do
Yeah.
that a lot. Just so
Yeah.
everyone knows, we just joke around like inappropriately. But
Mm.
yeah, in a public setting, and in a larger setting, for example, of different demographics and groups of people, yeah, we are careful. We're
Mm.
educated people that we don't want to disrespect anybody either, and want to make good connections. So, a 60-year-old white woman, I find this very informative. Oh, awesome! No problem, Joan. We're
Great.
we're here to help. You don't look 62
Great.
from that profile photo, so
Definitely not.
yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
definitely a great topic that you kind of talked about. Because yes, I think a lot of people are scared to step on new territory in terms of just culture now.
Mm.
Yeah, ultimately you might lose that culture because you're overprotective of it too, I find.
Definitely.
You're grabbing so hard that
Mm.
no
Yeah.
one else will ever be able to spread the word for you,
Right.
unless they've fully
Yeah.
studied it or something. But how much time does that take? Other than if we actually truly be friends, I'll be like, I know this Taiwanese guy that's like amazing. I know this Filipino is amazing. I know this Vietnamese, Chinese guy that's fantastic person. He's done so much good for the community. And I don't care about
Yeah.
his jokes. He benefits the
Mm.
community. So,
It
so
reminds
yeah,
me of like the closed door policies of China, ancient China or
oh,
Japan, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like they were just closed off from the world. But
Mm.
then let's say when they opened up, let's say Japan, what we got was like their anime, right? Or manga,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
amazing, like the culture, right? It was
yeah.
pretty cool, right? We get the best of both everybody if we open that up to everybody to share with and
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate the human
exactly.
experience from different
Yeah.
perspectives.
Totally.
And,
Yeah,
and and I
yeah.
think the key to it is what you just said, Andre, is just being open, being an empty
Mhm.
vessel.
Yeah.
Because as you shared earlier, is about a lot of times what triggers you about someone is to a certain degree your own projection on that
Mhm.
yourself, really what
Mhm.
you're lacking, what you hurt, that you've experienced, the lack that you are feeling, and that you're projecting it on others and saying that, hey, you're making me feel this way. But nothing or no one can make you feel a certain way without your full permission. So
Yes.
until you get to that awareness, I think it's always going to be project. Just take a step back. At least I've started to do so. Take a step back, that judgment in possibly even in my head, where does it come from? And
Yeah.
by looking in and looking inwards, I get a lot more answers. And as it's about clearing the filters that I have on my glasses, and the more I clear, the more I see.
Wait, like
And so
Mm.
literally or like
Mm.
figuratively?
literally and metaphorically.
Figurative.
Both,
Yeah, like you're talking about
both.
glasses. It's a very
Two ways,
practical thing to
because I
like.
can't really see this.
Yeah, that's why I have a cloth next to me, because yes,
Yeah,
I do get
That's
a
one of my
matching
biggest
one
pet
with your
peeves.
station. Yeah,
biggest
Yeah.
pet peeve. Dirty glasses, or
yeah,
Dirty glasses,
same.
100%.
Same. I think it's projections as well, because when I see it on my mom's glasses, I was like, Mom, you have to clear that. So I don't know if it's projections or it's just me being
it's just
OCD.
this fog, this kind of matte finish. You're like, whoa, can you see through this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, we're not here to judge, so that's a very
No, no
Well,
judging
if I'm
judgment
here
mentality.
to judge,
whatsoever.
I'm gonna let you know that I'm judging.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just be obvious about it. If you want to judge,
Yeah.
yeah, let them know
By the
in front of
way,
judge in front of people, so they know that you're judging them.
yeah.
But no, this has been quite an engaging conversation, and appreciate you guys. And no, I'm glad we talked about this, and
Mm,
it kind of like grew into something that's quite on the woke side of things too. So
mm.
definitely don't want to miss out on great conversations and people. So that I'm usually guilty 30 glasses. That's right, Joe. That's right, Joe. Um, but yeah,
No judgment.
definitely that. Yeah, no judgment. The big key takeaways are no judgment and wipe your dirty glasses. Of course,
Empty your
taking a break, like figuring
Mm,
out your priorities in life. Take a break from the appropriate things that may be on your plate right now, so that you can engage with the things that you truly are passionate about that can feed
mm,
you. I think is a very good exercise to do. And ultimately, when you're able to execute on it too, I think it'll be quite liberating too. So kind of like what
mm,
Andre's doing right now, what Luke's doing right now, and I think to an extent what
mm,
I'm doing right now too is I feel that we are on the paths that we are wanting, and it's a long time coming, but still a journey to go. So
mhm.
excited to journey with you guys too. But
Yeah,
um,
I'm so really
any last
grateful.
comments from my brothers?
For me, I think it's just curiosity. Be curious. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
we talk about judgment, and if I judge someone or if you judge someone, be curious. Where does that come
Mm,
from?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's for me, I feel like that's a projection of myself onto someone or
Mm,
my expectations of how things should be. But really, it's not really about what I expect that person to be, but it's about how how clean my glasses are, really. How clean my glasses are. And the cleaner they are, the more I get to see, the more I get to feel, the more I get to experience. And
mhm,
truly just, just be present, be fully present, because full
mm,
presence is using all your five senses with no
mm,
filters and just appreciating the present moment. And that's why, I guess, for me, taking a break is literally taking a breath to me.
love it.
cool.
Love it. Ooh,
Mm,
yes, that's right. And to add on to
Beautiful.
mm,
Luke, like saying about the judgment is an opportunity to learn about self, right? If you learn about
Yeah.
mm,
yourself, it's okay. Be
Yep.
kind to
mm,
yourself because you judge,
mm,
I judge, everybody judges. It's the normal human conscious mind. That's what it
mm.
does. Is that we
Yep.
judge ourselves, we judge other people, and we judge the
Safety.
circumstances that we're in. That's it. Don't just catch
Yeah.
yourself when you judge. Like, oh, freak, I
Mm,
am judging. I am
Mm,
judging this
yeah.
person. I'm projecting.
Why?
So yeah, why? And then switch it. That's
mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come from understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Recognize it first. But no, it's been fantastic seeing you guys. So we will
Mm.
continue next week, next Wednesday evening.
Next week.
Thank you so much for all the
Indeed.
participants, but
Good
love you
evening. Good
guys
evening.
too. Big hugs and high
Thank you,
fives.
Yeah.
Joan. Thank you,
Love.
Elizabeth.
Big
Bye bye.
love. Big love. Take care, brother.